time for yet another side quest. I am the great Lord Magog, and I'm here with Arcturus and Pentagast the Thief. Thief is cancelled. Nobody liked her.
One thing we can agree on is that their idea was the absolute stupidest imaginable.
Yeah, she ran off in a huff because we had such a large argument over important matters, and unfortunately, she will not be joining us tonight or ever again. Possibly, we'll see. I don't know. She's so mad right now that we didn't choose her fucking idea. This is an important show, everyone. We are on the verge of disbanding the Wicked Guild. Like, we cannot come to a consensus tonight.
This close to quitting. This close.
Yes. I even had to retrieve my emotional support gourd.
I didn't realize that you had one.
I have an emotional... Yes, it's very important to me to have an emotional support gourd.
I just had... Yeah, I when I get really angry, I break out in hives and I get all itchy, so I made a rudimentary scratcher. But, you know, that's all I have.
You are upsetting the gourd. It's scared of scratchers, back scratchers, yes.
Sorry.
It's all right.
I was unaware.
I'll scratch your gourd's damnable eyes out.
It's okay, Gordo.
Burn in hell, Gordo.
You know what? Fuck you. Your idea was bad too, Arcturus. You know that.
My idea is supreme. It is flawless. I'm feeling deeply unappreciated. My efforts to carry all of your dead weight have been nothing but resented.
Yeah, nobody believes that. Let me explain to the people at home before we get into it again. All right, because I feel like if we get into it again, we're not going to shut the fuck up, and they're not going to know what's going on. So let me do this. Thank you all for watching SideQuest. As usual, all donations through Streamlabs, Super Chats, and Cash App are appreciated, as it keeps our treasury filled so we can continue to entertain you week after week, at least until we disband the guild. Please keep in mind, if you donate to the Cash App, to use a screen name in the message itself, because I won't read anything that looks like a real name. Thank you all for watching. Let me explain what's happened the past few hours and why this Wicked Guild meeting has come to a head. We need a new table. Now, I know what you're saying. What the fuck? How could you possibly be so upset over something trivial? It is not trivial, good sirs and ma'ams. All right? We have been through thick and thin. We've been on countless quests, confronted countless dangers together. We have bled and sweat and cried together. Maybe not cried so much. Maybe Arcturus cried a little bit, especially when the orcs were coming. But we have been through...
She's weeping like a baby right now, and you know it.
No, she's probably slitting throats at the moment. Like, that's what she does to blow off steam.
While weeping like a baby.
Maybe weeping while slitting, but definitely slitting throats. But we have been through a lot, and you would think we are thick as thieves. But we cannot decide what table to put in the meeting hall at the guild.
No, we could decide, but two of you are absolutely stuck upon the most infantile, cringe ideas for a guild table that I think, well, it's not as bad as thieves, granted, but still abysmal. And you should all feel deeply ashamed.
Yes, we all can't seem to get anyone on our side. The votes have come in completely even. Everybody is voting for their own idea. Nobody's willing to break. It got so frustrating, Thief even left for the evening, probably once again, slitting throats. There's a chance the band's breaking up. This is like the Beatles, and the table is our Yoko Ono.
But perhaps we could all take turns explaining what we chose, and, let the audience decide.
By the way, this in that analogy, that makes me John, all right? And Thief is obviously Paul, and that makes you, all right? That makes you Arcturus, George, and obviously Pentagast is Ringo.
You know, at first I didn't think so, but I think you're right.
You're definitely.
I disagree. I think I got that backwards. He looks. Look at that face. It's much more Georgie than mine. I'm much Ringoer.
No. Pentagast is the Ringo. I mean, he looks like
Yeah.
a drummer. Come on. Or wait,
What?
Was Ringo the drummer or the bassist? I can't even remember. That's how unimportant they are after John and Paul.
Well, I don't know.
Somebody tell me, was Ringo the drummer? I could have. Somebody.
I'm sure he was the drummer, and Pentagast is much more of a bassist.
No, drummers are. Come on, man. Come
A
on.
vile bassist.
Come on. You are definitely not a drummer. You're a bassist. I mean, you're a racist bassist. Like, that is so you. You hate elves so much.
No, you're confused. The term is based.
Ringo was the drummer. That's what Snoopy said. I was right. Ringo is the drummer, and Pentagast definitely looks like a drummer. He looks like a sweaty, chubby drummer. Like, it's perfect. Like, if we were a band, I would definitely be the lead singer because I have the raspy. Like, it would be a death metal band, obviously.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Yes.
like obviously, and then we get the hot girl with the great rack on guitar, right, or keyboard, something like that. Arcturus definitely looks like the smooth bassist. He's got the neck floof. He's got the dress. He's up on stage winking at girls while he's and you,
Right.
sir, you Pentagast, are fucking rocking the sticks. I mean,
Yes.
it just makes sense. Arcturus, you can't even argue.
So, by this logic, the audience is correct, and I'm actually Paul.
It's like the Lone Rangers, but I'm even more airheaded or something.
Yeah, no, we've moved away from the Beatles, and we're just talking about if we were an actual metal band.
Yeah, I know the Lone Rangers. Do you not?
The
do
Lone
you not
Rangers. I
see
know the Lone Rangers. Yes.
Okay.
Well, there were only really two of the Lone Rangers. Well, there was three. There were three. There was Steve Buscemi, and then of course there was Brandon Fraser.
Is your audio crystal being strange?
Not that I'm aware of.
It was. You were distorted. It seemed.
Probably.
I got the gist of it. Yes.
Yes.
No.
If we're a
I
metal
think.
band,
Look, I
our
think
name
that.
would be
Yeah.
Screaming Existential Despair.
Yes. No, I think that Arcturus, as the bassist, up with a foot on the PA system, gyrating his hips at the crowd, realizing that he's in front of prisoners
And
that
you
want
can't
to
also you
fondle his naughty bits. I think that is where Arcturus would shine.
like, dude, what are you doing? Like, we're at a
Yeah,
prison.
dude, what are you
Like,
doing? Yes, I would be the one to point that out. And to be fair, the drummer did point that out.
Yeah. And also,
This is why I am Ringo.
yeah. Also, the bass guitar leaves plenty of room to wear those nipple tassels.
Yes, it does.
So-
It does.
Yeah. Anyway,
No one's going to see them behind my whirling sticks.
no.
It's just not going to
This
happen.
feels like a version you're trying to weasel out of explaining to the audience, oh no, how full of crap you are the moment you start into the idea why your tables are the wise choice, or so much as acceptable in any world where we have self-respect.
Let me tell you though. Here's another reason why I think Pentagast is the drummer. He only has one arm, just like the drummer in Def Leppard.
But
Where did you get that arm? You missed an opportunity because
Am
I
I
never
not
see
supposed-
it. I never see
What-
it. You always just do
am I
the
not
one
supposed
hand.
to use?
I always assumed your other hand was down there holding up your massive penis so it doesn't clunk on the floor.
Oh no!
So
I rigged up a set of pulleys and
Okay.
snatch blocks and stuff. So
Yeah. See, it would have worked any other night, but you just ruined. You could have rolled with it.
It's
You could have been our
actually
drummer.
currently it's suspended out of the crystal's gaze, out the window currently.
Yes, and people, nobody's arguing that the thief is the guitarist, and I don't even know if she would be a guitarist. I think she's more of a keytarist. I could see thief as the, I might have to pick up the guitar and
No,
lead sing
I don't
so
know
that
if
we
that-
can have a
Is that a
keytar.
good idea? No, think about that. Is that a good idea? Keytars are fairly large, and she's so tiny.
No, it totally works. Plenty of women in the Earth Realm play the keytar. I've seen it, like it because you play it down low anyway. You got to hang that.
Oh
thing
yeah,
low,
I suppose yes.
You just kind of
Well-
let it drape off of you. Really,
Right.
Yeah, it's not like ripping fucking chords on an axe,
But
right?
No, but it'll just look like a pair of boobs playing a keytar. It's weird,
That's exactly what we need. And how many heavy metal bands have a guitarist?
And if she could learn to do that and play the notes with, there you go. You know that's a.
It totally works.
You know,
the analogy
it
works.
totally works.
Let's move on. Before we get arguing about the table, shut up. Before we get arguing about the table again, I do have a package, believe it or not. And how long has it been? How long has it been? Nobody sends me shit anymore, so I was surprised to get it. So I'm going to open it now on the stream. I was surprised to get it. I don't know who got it for me, because we kind of stopped doing that. Like, we don't even have our Poe boxes in the description anymore, because people just don't really send us stuff anymore. Really, I mean, we used to be that big, but not anymore. But here it is. It's long though. It's pretty long.
That rules out, the skull of something. Then I guess never mind.
Yep, it's definitely not a skull. But I don't know who sent it.
Dragons are still on the table.
What
though.
if it's a person's arm? It could be a person's arm.
It could be an arm. It could. Nope.
Maybe they sent you what they thought was my missing arm. It could have been
replica of your bombing nagging proportions, perhaps.
Look, it's nice and foamy. Oh
I know.
boy. Oh
I know.
boy.
That
Oh.
looks like something pointy.
It looks like a sword to me. Who got me? I don't see a note. Huh. All right. Let's get that out of the way. Shall I unsheath it upon the stream?
I do have a question. What is that stuff? It's always on packages. It's clear, but not. But it's always over everything. You have to peel it off. It's always annoying.
It's some sort of magical.
Is it residue from passing through the portal or something? Is it covered in goo?
No. It's some sort of magical barrier, some sort of force field that's created by a man named Joseph Plastique.
Ah.
Yes.
Okay.
So it looks. Get out of the way, Six. Fuck! It's writing books when I'm trying. God damn it, Six. I can't show off. Okay. Oh, it's rusted.
Harrison?
It's rusted. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I think
supposed to look like that.
I think it's meant to look like an ancient blade.
Ah.
Yeah. It's all rusty
Yeah.
but it's cool and it's fucking heavy, man. That's
nice.
Doesn't have much of an edge, but it does have a pretty sharp point, so you can poke somebody with it. That's for sure.
Well.
Ooh, it's oiled. Ooh. Yep. So it's a real thing because they have to oil it.
Nice.
And it's leather wrapped handle. Looks very what are they called in the Earth? Viking. Like a Viking.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, I like it. Yes. And a nice sheath with it. I was not expecting that. No note. Whoever sent this to me, if you're watching, thank you so much for the new ancient blade. Yeah, that's on purpose. It's not like they left it outside in the rain. It's oiled, so it's on purpose. I think it's meant to look tarnished and old and wicked. It is a wicked blade for a wicked man.
Nice.
Thank you so much, whoever sent this.
Yes. Very nice indeed.
Yes.
Will we ever know who sent it?
I don't know. We'll have to watch the chat and see if anybody says, hello, it was me. If not, hopefully they watch it later and recognize that I have thanked them.
Right.
Yeah, when did we ever stop putting our Poe boxes in the description? Did we just unilaterally decide we never get packages anyway, so we're not gonna...
To be honest, I thought they were still there. I didn't realize that they weren't.
I think I need to update them. I think there was a link to
that was perhaps what it was.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't think they were actually physically written in the description. I think there was a link to a link tree.
Yes.
And that needs to be updated. It's been so long. Yeah, it's like Octane says, maybe a zombie tool. I don't know. Zombie tools.
So it's undead? It's an undead blade?
No, it's more. There's a company that makes tools that look like they're used in zombie movies.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yep. So
Interesting.
anyway. Yep. And so really cool, ancient looking blade. Definitely can see like one of my undead wielding it. Right? Like
Yeah.
a skeleton warrior, you know, because it wouldn't be a shiny new thing if they just crawled out of the ground, right?
No.
You know, so it's really cool. I love it because it purposely looks like tarnished and old. I like that. I think it's cool.
Yes.
You know, I might even hang it up in place of this one, but
Mm.
I'll do that later. I don't know because it has to be oiled, so I don't know if hanging it up would be okay or not.
Mm.
Yeah, this one doesn't have to be oiled. It's made out of a special. It's made out of a special metal. That's like, not like. It's hard until it hits you, and magic causes it to go soft. It's for practice. So you don't kill your underlings when you're practicing sword fighting.
Right.
Yes. Anyway, thanks again to whomever sent the rusted Viking blade. Did we lose Ark? Is what?
Indeed. So glad you got on the pointy thing.
Yes. Another portal.
I'd like to give you a pointy thing too. Or perhaps we could come to our senses and choose the right table, which is obvious.
No, listen. Okay, we need a new table for the guild hall, everyone, and let me describe what we each wanted. Or do you all want to describe your own table?
I would like to describe my own. There's no way you two would do it justice.
All right, fine. Okay, so I'll start with mine. I wanted the classic, baby. Long rectangular table with skulls in the centerpiece, like a centerpiece, and each member of the Wicked Guild sitting in order of importance from me at the head of the table. It just makes sense. I am the leader of the Wicked Guild, and we should have a long rectangular table, possibly with booby traps under each chair for when my council upsets me. I can hit like a magic, like I can pull a lever and they fall back into a pit of vipers or something.
Yes.
You know, classic villain stuff. I mean, I'm saying nobody, there's a reason it's a classic. Nobody gets tired of the classics. That was my vote. Arcturus, go ahead with yours.
Oh, by the way, that's an absolutely fantastic idea if you need to host the occasional feast for hot topic dwelling goth teenage girls.
Never know.
Honestly, you know what? Pendergast, you should go first because
No.
going after me, it's going to be really stupid.
Don't follow. No, don't fall for it, Pendergast. He wants you to go next so that he can one-up you.
Right.
But we're going in order of our health bars here. And since Thief has left...
Okay. So you think that Pendergast will one-up me very well. My choice, of course, is the Omega Council desk. A curved U, almost Omega symbol that is of the finest craftsmanship typically used for sentencing criminals or wayward cult members to death. It is the pinnacle of secret society organization.
So we're all facing the same side. Like we're all facing forward. It's a U shape.
And we also on the inside, staring at whoever's at the center, standing awkwardly under our combined gaze, they try to explain why they deserve our services.
Right. And Pendergast?
Right. Look, I wanted a round table. I already had a giant mushroom we could use. It's already flat. And we could just... It was the right size. It's perfect for four, at least. At first, it's a little big. It needs 5 seats. But one seat has to... There's actually... we'll have to hollow out a space in the middle for the seat in the center. Because that's where the hat wants to be. But a round table so that we're all equal and so that we're all, listening to the most important being in the room, the hat. That is what I thought was good. I even have smaller mushrooms we could use, and they're ergonomic for to sit upon.
Gotcha. So
a mushroom table surrounded by small mushroom chairs that we can all sit around, which is absolutely perfect for a mentally disabled 5-year-old.
Now, because she's not here to defend herself, and she got angry and left in a huff, let me describe what Thief wanted. She didn't want a table at all. She thought it would be great if we could all just kind of arrange our desks in such a way, like each of us had our own table, and we could arrange them in such a way that we're all kind of like facing each other in a command center style, and we can decorate our desks how we please. So she would probably have some sort of pirate-themed thing with like a treasure chest and a small ship on a bottle on her desk. She was really trying to optimize this whole like office space vibe.
I don't know how do you...
Which is absolutely perfect for a mentally deficient 2-year-old.
I don't know how you make a desk mushroom.
Well, you could do like a child's desk where it curves.
I could talk to them, but I don't think that they'll go for it. I mean,
well, you don't make
Have you ever tried to convince a mushroom to be a desk room? It's not going to go for it.
Yeah, not easy. No. Well, you don't have to make the desk a mushroom, but you could have a desk. If Thief wins, you could have a desk with mushrooms all over it. Like you could be the mushroom man.
I know, but no, I don't like this. It feels very cubicle, and I feel like I might be constrained in some way. And you can't have your mushrooms are hanging off your desk. That's not compliant with office rules, and I don't want. You need to do something about that, or we're going to be written up. I don't want it. I think the desk idea is the worst one out of all of them.
I think she just wanted us to have desks so that she could sit in the back of the room and shoot spit wads at the backs of our heads.
I think she would have had us all sitting at the children's table. Strictly speaking, if we do the smart thing and select the Omega Council desk, we can still have a child's desk for Thief. I'm not really comfortable with her sitting at the adult's table anyway.
Yes, well, let me sum up everybody's idea, and then we can get into this. All right, for the audience, mushroom table with a fucking hat in the center.
It's eco-friendly. That's another thing.
I get it, but I'm just summing it up for them. So our choices are mushroom table with hat in the center, multiple desks facing forward like we're in some sort of weird fucking classroom, a horseshoe, or an epic long skull table with an evil wizard sitting at the head. What do you all think?
Your obsession with the length of the table makes me think you're feeling a bit insecure about Pentacast.
No, I'm planning for future members to join. Right now, there's only 4 of us and some underlings that never get a seat at any table. And we got to fill up the space a little bit. I mean, it's precisely the reason to have a long table, because it's intimidating.
I just had a thought about this. And I'm worried because it's actually... I'm having second thoughts about my round mushroom table, because this long table seems like it might actually be prudent. If you're at the head of it, can I be all the way at the other side?
Oh, you want the bitch end?
Yes. Well, think about it. I have to have room, and if we need a long table, like longer than any table I've ever been.
You're fucking going that. Like, are you telling me your meat sausage has to have room to go down and straight forward?
Yeah,
under the table.
You don't want that getting twisted. You don't. But also, the other reason for it is, in case we have a meeting while we're eating, I'm so far away that I have to like holler for the salt and no one can hear me. I think that's a key feature of a long table,
Yeah,
and I think we should have that.
But wouldn't it be cool? Like, I could use magic to slide things to you, but it's like slow magic, so it's like the salt would just go.
Yeah,
Wait.
I actually, I'm with you on this, actually. See, that's what's bothering me. You're winning me over with your friggin' long skull table, and I still think there's merit to having the hat at the center. You don't realize how important that is.
I don't think you get to defend your idea anymore after you've decided to slob up on Magog's table knob.
Hold on, Khaled. He's not alone here. Khaled in the chat says, the horseshoe allowing for withering gazes of doom gets my vote. God damn it, betrayed by my own fans.
Furthermore, I would stress that, strictly speaking, the Omega Horseshoe Council table would, in the event that Pentagast was too stimulated by whoever's applying for work, they would be menacing them with protuberance and not us.
Yes, but how many visitors? Like, it's a waste of a design when we don't even get that many visitors come in and stand before us in the actual meeting room. Like, we usually take visitors in the Great Hall.
Where are they going to stand at your long table to address us all in a straightforward fashion?
We're not. That's what my point is. This table's for guild meetings, not for meeting outsiders who come in to petition us to do something. That's a different hall altogether.
That's why
the
superior
Omega versatility of my design.
No, the Omega table's a horrible idea because what are we all looking at? A room of nothing? Because there's never going to be anyone out there for all of us to gaze at, giving glances of doom to. There won't be anyone there.
I just realized I don't think I've ever seen you turn your head suitably. Do your necks work?
What?
Well, Magog can turn his head. You seem to be struggling with there, Pentagast. Look, it seems that you can get your neck to work. I suspect it will still work at the Omega Council table.
Yeah, but we wouldn't need to because it's curved. As it goes this way, the next person would be more like, I mean, it's not even like a full turn. You're thinking of like you're thinking of like a Last Supper table where I'm like Jesus. I'm like dark evil Jesus in the middle, and you're the Judas handing me bread. What did he do? I didn't read the book. And Pentagast is obviously what? Don't laugh. I didn't read the book. Like, it's the most popular book. I haven't gotten around to it. I like to build up to the most popular book in the Earth Realm.
Right.
All right.
Don't start at the beginning.
No.
Don't start with the best. Work your way up to it.
Yeah. You start off with War and Peace, and then you move up to Tolkien. Like everything in between.
Yeah.
Like right. So anyway, I don't see. I like where your head's at, Pentagast, because the horseshoe. It seems intimidating, but we're not always going to have someone standing there being judged. So when we're having our guild meeting, we'll literally just be staring at nothing going, what's on the docket today?
Or we could, look at each other. I know it's an unpleasant prospect. Unfortunately, it's not avoided by your suggestions either.
Look, the Omega table might... if we maybe consider a bit of a redesign, and I just realized that my round table has a flaw as well. Pretty much all of our tables have a flaw to them. And I think that what we need to do is add an extension off of whatever table we choose. There needs to be an extension going off into the darkness, out of sight, out of mind, just completely out into like another room. We could even put in a door or something to like block that section of the table off, and we put Arcturus there.
That's possible.
So that when he, attends meetings, we don't have to listen to him. We don't have to look at him. And,
honestly, there's really no reason we even attend.
Well, see, here was my thing. I thought
if you don't attend, you'll be thrown out.
Yeah, but he's already thrown out.
If it means I don't have to sit at the children's table,
but I
think I might accept oblivion and facing the tug of war, whatever God wins my soul in the end.
Well, I thought with my table, the very end, now Pentagast wants that seat, so it ruins my plan. Like, in order to get Pentagast's vote and win, I have to concede the last seat to him. The problem is
I'm the de facto leader when we're out on our quests.
No,
you guys made me the leader 2 seasons. Like, I don't even know how long ago.
That's only on quest, though. It has nothing to do with the table.
Well, it's a position of importance. I should be a counterpart to your great.
Well, how about
at the head of the table? I should be the second head.
Yeah, but no, you should be at the right of me. You're the right hand of Magog.
Oh.
Yeah, see, the end of the table, which is way down
there. Why
there.
you thought I didn't have 2 arms?
Yes.
I only have a right hand?
Yes.
Oh.
I thought the very end of with my design, the very end of the table would be the magic mirror. No seat, but a magic mirror, so that when we have someone we need to communicate with or talk to, I can magically pull them up and everybody at the table can turn and look down there and see our guest in the magic mirror. So if we have to speak to a king or a noble lord about some quest, that would be the other end of the table. Me at the head of the table, and the magic mirror at the foot of the table, and my counsel on each side of me. You being, of course, Pentagast, the right hand of God.
Right.
I mean, Magog.
Yes. Whatever.
I think for all of our sakes, it would be wise to take a brief break to address the only support we've received so far. For the next 6 minutes, we're using Streamlabs. Tipped 2 signals in our direction with the following message. Good evening, side questers. George Harrison was the most talented musician and songwriter, and I will die on that hill.
Well, we're not saying that. We were using an analogy to compare, like how the Beatles broke up and how we're kind of breaking up because the table is Yoko Ono.
Indeed, we're right in the middle of it. We didn't even need a Yoko.
But there's no reason to hate on George Harris. He was brilliant. So was Ringo, and so was Paul and John in their own ways. Except that he was kind of a dirty commie. But other than that,
Right.
I'm sure he was rolling in his grave when all those celebrities during COVID decided to do Imagine over the phone. Like those weird boxes they all hold and are hypnotized by. Oh, that was cringe, bro.
Yeah, the hypno boxes are.
Yes.
That is a strange bit of.
Yeah, they're destroying themselves in the earth realm. They are destroying all their cultures for.
I would like to know
hypno
who's trying to that's the thing. Who came up with that concept? Because it sounds like something we should have come up with, and yet someone has beat us to it. And I think that we should find who this is and get them to work with us to help us get in there and take over.
But I developed the dark crystals, which allow you to access all magical networks in our world. I created the dark crystals. But the problem is the Skeksis keep fucking stealing them.
Right. Well, whoever that Sam person is, we need to get hold of them.
Right.
I'm kind of disturbed that none of y'all have even considered my idea for a table.
You submitted an idea for a table? Oh, God, here we go. Let me guess, it's made of bones or something.
No, but now that you're mocking me, I don't even want to share it.
I hate sympathizing with Poe.
Should we give him his turn? I mean, he is essentially a guild member. I mean, he's my familiar, so...
I mean, Thief's not here, so...
Okay.
Honestly, he's about the only one I trust might do better than you two, although I'm skeptical he can compete with your mega council chamber.
Oh, fine. Poe, what is your idea?
A super long rectangle table with Magog at the head, and of course, the magic mirror at the foot, and the council around the edges. But mine's different in one way. There are poles in the middle of the table for goblino wenches to dance at.
Okay, that does change the context a bit.
I don't hate it.
I
don't hate it. I don't know why. It's speaking to me. It might be because it is essentially...
It's not a bad idea. In theory, it might even can make us want to contribute more signas to the guild's coffers.
It could
But
draw
from
in
our own-
clientele.
From our own personal reserves. I mean, I could totally see myself sitting there and throwing signas at goblinas.
Except for the
Gyrating.
pole in front of Ark's chair. It's reserved. It'd be a taller pole because it'd be reserved for the elven girls.
Okay, I take it all back. I hope you burn in all the hells.
We all know how much he loves his elven ladies.
Well, I mean,
But
I'm
hold
not
on.
saying I'm saying
Augmentation.
I wouldn't say
Go
no
on.
to an elven dancer. But
You can
I
switch
can.
with Ark then. Ark can be in front of the pole with the what you like, the Lunavarian? Do you like the Lunavarians?
No. But consider holes on the Mega Council desk at the ends.
what?
It's a bit less dignified, but it still serves the purpose.
I did. You broke up there with your sound crystal. What did you say? Omega. All we heard was Omega table, blah blah blah, blah, and then all things considered.
Holes at the ends, serving the
Hole-
same purpose.
Holes.
Holes.
Oh,
Holes for the dance.
I thought you were going with like a whole different setup, bro. I thought I
Effectively
heard
speaking
holes. I heard holes, and
Okay,
I
I am low in class of it, but not that low.
I heard holes, not poles. Did you hear holes?
I wasn't sure. I was like, I don't know what he's saying.
Look, if we're drilling glory holes into an Omega Council desk, you're also providing your own service.
Everybody get on Pornhub and look at milking tables.
What? I don't know what that. Anyway, we are not affiliated with whatever thing he said. We're not.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we don't
Yeah,
accept money from them or anything.
That sounds. I don't know. It sounds like it's very industrial, and I don't know if machinery. No.
Yeah. So anyway, no, it doesn't work with a half moon table, Arcturus, because there's not enough room for them to dance. Well, I mean, not half moon, but a horseshoe. Now maybe a half moon table, because it'd be big
Clearly,
and round.
neither of you have properly seen
Now, what
the
about
Omega.
what about a
Council.
round? What about a round mushroom table, but instead of the center with a hat, it's a center pole?
I mean that's also an option. I mean, we could do that.
Like now
My-
we're all
No, I'm sorry. There's no saving the mushroom table. That is, next thing to suggest is that we should go with this idea and put poles on all the school desks.
yeah, but they're too small for that. No,
Yeah, that's
Unless-
too small.
unless you want to go with fairy girls like pixies. I mean, they can be hot. They're this big, but they can be.
You can't throw signas at them; you'll crush them.
I know it's difficult. They usually have to cast a spell and go full size.
Yeah,
for
they try to
an hour.
catch it, and then they're like, it's like, oh,
Yeah,
I killed
Yeah.
them.
yeah. Okay, so if we did go with Ark's idea with the horseshoe, but instead of poles down in that space where we sentence people and stuff and the eyes of
Right.
doom, we could
Yeah.
have some sort of elevated stage with a pole.
It's not.
This sounds like the best of all worlds, and we should support this wholeheartedly.
I'm
Do we
trying
need-
to stop the guild from breaking up.
Do we need to put in like a side balcony with one of those like really annoying guys who like announces who's coming on stage next? Do we need to do that?
No, I think Poe's got that covered.
You damn Skippy.
Oh,
And
so,
he doesn't need a whole balcony. He could be in his like cage hanging over here.
Right. We'd have to put in some sort of like public address system though that's really, really loud, and it's like it hurts your ears when they announce the next one coming on stage.
Right. Where is your cage, by the way, Poe? Where did you? I don't know where your cage is.
Yeah, it's somewhere around here. I don't fucking like the cage. I gotta be free, man. I've gotta be free.
Free to murder. Like, okay, I didn't consider that we, the Wicked Guild, did sign up for the best topless dancer in the world of Voth competition we host every year.
Well, we didn't sign up for that.
No, we did. That's what I'm getting at, is that I didn't consider that when it comes to the table design.
Is
So when
that
we-
why we're doing this? Is because we won the bid to be the host for the
No,
Vault's greatest
there was no
dances?
bid. There was no like we
How much
automatically
did
won.
it cost us?
It didn't cost us anything.
What
we
did you
just,
spend?
No, it didn't cost us anything. We just have, but between now and what is it, in 5.5 months? Between now and then, we have to come up with 4 fantastic prizes for the
Well,
for the top 4.
Okay. I mean, I don't like being signed up for competitions and having to dole out prizes without prior knowledge. I mean, 5 months, that's not enough time.
You were
You know
at
how
the
long it
meeting.
takes-
You
No,
even
no.
raised your hand and voted yes.
We had a meeting?
Yes.
I wasn't there.
Yes, you were. You ate a lot of mushrooms and probably don't remember. But you were there. You voted yes. We are hosting the
It sounds
topless. We are hosting the topless mead wench competition.
It sounds like something I would vote for. I mean, but at the same time, 5 months or 5.5 months is not enough time. I need time to cultivate, to get the right growing conditions so that I can make the prizes for these people.
Nobody wants
I don't
them. No. It's going to have to be like a shiny egg and a unicorn horn. Something actually valuable.
Oh.
Or drugs.
That too.
That still puts me on the list then. I still have to prepare.
Yeah. You even voted yes to Poe's ridiculous name for the competition because, calling it the annual topless mead wench dance competition was too long to say in conversation. And
Right.
so we all proposed a name change, but you were the deciding vote and you voted for Poe. And I want you to do it again for my table. What are we calling it again? You're making the banner, right? Yeah, it's the Miss Boniverse competition.
Yeah. That rings a bell.
Wouldn't that mean she's averse to bones?
That's still a good name.
No, it was a play on Miss Universe.
Yes, but it doesn't work. Now Boniverse just sounds like we're only auditioning lesbian strippers.
That very well might be the case anyway.
And I don't suppose we care.
Look, it's about the performance.
Listen,
No.
everyone is supposed to come up with a prize. There's 4 prizes: first place, second place, third place, and runner-up. And each one of us has a prize. I've already got my first place prize picked out. Whoever wins the competition and becomes Miss Boniverse will get my cherished and most beloved and incredibly rare Lantern of Unimaginable Pain.
In my case, they get a small sum of gold and an overnight stay in my personal quarters.
That's the runner-up prize. Runner-up. If that's
I
the
didn't-
runner-up prize, the girls will work harder not to win it.
Like I said, I haven't had enough time to prepare. I think the best I can do right now is I'll give them my improvised scratching device.
I could cast a spell on that to make it more valuable. It's like a back scratcher.
Right. It could become a golden one or something.
Yeah,
or
it'll be
somehow enchanted.
It'll be gold, encased in gold, incredibly smooth, and it'll vibrate.
Right. I mean, it's not a bad length. I mean,
Yes.
it might be a bit long, but
Yeah, we don't want people to get the wrong idea, so we'll call it a personal massage back scratcher.
Yes. If you then I've got my gift or my prize covered. I think
Yes,
we'll be okay
you'll
with
go.
this.
Yeah, then the thief has to come up with second place prize, which would probably be a night in her quarters.
Well, that or a dinghy or something.
Yeah, dinghy, probably a dinghy. Yeah.
She likes boats. I
Yes.
don't know why.
So we're not going with my idea to make the strippers run a gauntlet of pain and torture. They're just going to dance.
I
Nobody.
thought that was after the dancing.
That's a veto on that one.
Look,
There are
I
a lot
don't
of
know-
things I enjoy seeing women attempt. Escaping death traps is not typically one of them.
Yeah, it's a misnomer. It really was just an oiled up slip and slide. Just that's
Okay, now that
What? If you
that
don't
is
give,
acceptable.
No, if you don't give us the order of operations, how do we know what we're trying to plan for? these details need to be worked out. You can't just throw them on us last minute.
We have some logistics to work out. We're getting distracted. We still have yet to decide on the table design.
Yeah, but the slip and slide's important.
I know it is. It's very important, but it's going to have to be a later episode. Maybe next week. When the thief is back, we'll talk about the slip and slide.
You know, see, now that I'm thinking about logistics, the long table, long slip and slide, we're going to need room in order to gaze upon their performance on the slip and slide. We could even angle it so it comes down onto the table. And then, obviously, when they'll have to come to a stop, we're going to need some length, run out for them to stop sliding.
Yes.
So I'm thinking that actually a long table, either Poe's idea or your idea, is probably the better option here. Except that, do we need to have all the skulls? I mean, that's the thing. That's why I'm kind of leaning away from your idea, Magog. The skulls and everywhere. I mean, they're just going to run into them, and that's just
the skulls are around the outside edge of the table, like on each corner. It's a decorative. Yes, the table's a table, but the corners are skulls, and then there's maybe some skulls in the center, like in between each spot. So when you're sitting in your chair, you know where your spot ends.
Oh, okay.
Because there's skull, and then the next spot, like there's skulls on each. You park your chair between the smaller skulls, and then each corner has a bigger skull.
Right.
So you don't bump into it with your fucking hip. You ever bump into the corner of a fucking table with a hip?
Oh, that hurts.
Yeah, that's it's sharp, but if there's a skull there, it's nice and round. You know. Safety first, kiddos.
And, now I think about it, with the skull idea, like any of our enemies that cross us, you could always just incorporate their skull into the table.
Yeah, we'll have to collect skulls for the purposes of, But hear me out. I mean, come on. I mean, even with me in the chair and behind me, I even thought maybe we could do like a giant skull fountain with like blood coming out the mouth into a fountain. Like it's pretty nice if you imagine the whole, Well,
could we replace the blood with just the oil for the slip and slide? Why don't we?
We could do that. We could do that just for the competition, though. Rest of the year, we're going with blood. We're an evil organization of villains.
Right. Just change it up. So that we have options so it's got multiple uses. It's not just a blood fountain.
We'll weed out the squeamish and attract the vampire set.
Well, I'm
sure that there's been some that have entered.
No, well, I have been in talks. I didn't want to announce this with Thief around because it might be just for us fellas because we're going to have to vote on that. But the Coven of Vampire Brides wishes to kind of join forces with the Wicked Guild, so we might have cause.
They do.
Yes. I mean, it's an alliance. They're not joining like as members. It's more of a perhaps the Coven and the Guild can work together on occasion.
So it's more of a short-term engagement, like overnights, kind of thing.
No, just any quest that happens from twilight till dawn, really.
So it's the overnight,
and it'll have to be short. Not only because traveling with them for long distances, we'd have to have the coffins so they can sleep during the day. The wagon would have to pull the coffins, but also because they move very slowly. Because they're vampire brides, they have those slender dresses. It's just their whole thing. And they kind of just, not like zombies, but it's very sensual, but they move very slowly.
Yeah, they glide everywhere.
Yeah, they glide. It's a gliding thing. There's even like fog coming out from the bottom of their dresses. It's very...
I would love to know how they do that.
I don't know how they do that. I want to know that magic. Every now and again, I want some fog coming out from under my robe.
Right.
For all this, it still sounds too good to be true. Are you quite sure you haven't arranged for us to serve as refreshment?
No, that's what the skull fountain's for. They can grab a cup and just,
Yeah. And they can stand to miss a day of feeding. Okay.
Yeah, they're called the Vampire Brides, by the way, because they are seeking husbands. So they're already wearing their long, slender dresses to attract.
You don't have to say yes, though, do you?
No. This is just how they are. It's their whole look. It's their whole, how we're the Wicked Guild. We do wicked things.
Right.
They're the vampire brides, so they are. What?
Nothing. Just something I saw. It's charismatic.
What did he say?
Dry ice up the hoo-ha. It's perfect. It explains so much.
It explains a lot. Like when I met with the head bride, because she wanted to broach the topic of alliance, I was like, "Is your vagina smoking?"
Yeah.
She had to explain to me that it was actually her night powers, and it only happens for 3 or 4 days, once a month.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
it's a temporary thing.
But
Okay.
because they're a coven, it's all synced up, so it seems like it all happens on the same day every month.
Oh, weird. Okay,
Yeah.
that explains so much. I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
They say they're on their moons.
Ah.
Yeah.
I hate how well I'm imagining the smell.
Thief is missing so much of the best show we've ever done, by the way. Like,
It can be pleasant.
Ah.
Filled into a dark mixed with dried blood, I'm thinking.
Yes, she's being visited by her Aunt Fog.
Right.
Shh.
I still don't. But why desks? Why a classroom atmosphere or an office atmosphere? It just doesn't. What is it with her, like, and the whole organization thing? I don't get it. She runs a pirate ship. It's the most, it's the most, like, just cluttered mess of a crew I've ever seen. But then maybe that's it. Maybe it's her, like, she's been surrounded by such chaos. She wants a little order in her life. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know.
Sorry, that was left over from my meeting with
I think we should attend to some more messages of support from our adoring audience.
That was such a fun thing. Never mind. Brad Young gave 10 sign to say power up from Magoo. I guess do I get to choose whatever power up I want? Okay.
Specify. I was going to stop you. I would like to, but you've given me no power to do so.
Right. So I'm going to choose the Pendant of Praise. I have a reason for this. I shall don my Pendant of Praise, and one of you shall praise me. All right, Arcturus, I want you to tell me what you really think about my table idea.
Truly, its size is of suitable Brobdingnagian proportions. Very immense and impressive. It really takes up a lot of space in a grandiose way. It sets the theme for the entire room it ostensibly fits in.
That was a whole bunch of words that didn't
The
sound a lot like
craftsmanship
praise.
is impeccable.
Now you're praising the craftsman who hasn't even made it yet. You need to. I asked you to praise the idea of my table, and you are telling me facts about the table, not even praising.
Well, the idea is truly expertly crafted. If one were to suspect that maybe you were trying to personally pry my last nerve out of my spine. Perfect. Honestly, I can't think of much better to that end except for a mushroom table.
Still. Well, I'll take it.
No, I understand, but, like, has anybody ever figured out what he's talking about with these nerve things? I still don't understand it.
Nerves? No. He's the only one who has them, apparently.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah. Maybe it's because
If you want to come by for a visit, I'm pretty sure I can show you yours.
I've never seen one. That's all I'm saying.
I can fix that.
I mean, are you sure they're there? Have you ever seen one?
Yeah,
Come on by.
I think it's only
Let's
because
learn.
I think he's the only human on the show. Like, he still has mortal feelings.
Well,
Like, you've numbed your feelings with mushrooms. Like, you are above and beyond a superhuman. I am a 300 and almost 340-year-old evil wizard. He's a simple man.
Well, but the mushrooms do. I mean, I don't like to talk about that. They're all downsides, but
the
upsides
call
are worse.
me simple?
Well, you think a horseshoe makes a good table, so yes.
We have a super chat we should address in the time.
A super chat or a Streamlabs?
Streamlabs.
Yep, it's just Brad Young on my end. Streamlabs. Okay, never mind. Brad Young also he did a gift membership. He said one Wicked Guild gift membership out there. I don't know who got it though.
With Octane Junkie one, surprisingly. Very apt.
Oh, okay. Cool. Nice. Sweet.
Meanwhile, Uncle Russ threw 15 cents our way with the following message. The table should be hollow in the middle, so the guilty can be slammed through it from a tall ladder. Be careful about heavy wrenches.
But we'd break it every time then. We'd have to commission a new table every time we slam someone through it.
Yeah.
You know, hollow in the middle, I'm guessing, but just plywood. That would still work with the Omega Council table of superior design.
No,
a significant bit of plywood over the gap in the center and power slam people through it.
No, that's for the cage room. We can do like the cage fights with the table in. We'll just buy cheaper tables for that.
With a space in the center, we can move a cage in there when we want that.
Well, we have a whole dungeon now, remember?
Oh yeah, we do. I forgot about that.
Yeah, what do you fucking think we've been talking about? Do you guys think you're putting a giant fucking awesome ass skull table with poles in the center in my little shop here in the fucking Witchmore? Like, are you kidding me? We're going for the fucking dungeon.
I thought you could like expand the interior of that place to whatever size you wanted. So
that takes an immense amount of magical power. That's some Harry Potter shit people think that we wizards can just do. That's fucking crazy. People would live like kings literally everywhere if that magic was easily accessible.
Well, okay. Is the reason you're not going into this is because there's, a lot of paperwork to fill out? Is that why?
Paperwork? What does that have to do with?
Yeah, like you have to fire off several like missives to the guild, to the Council of Gogs in order to gain the power, in order to create the infinitely expandable room. You have to have obviously it's a lot of magic, so you need to have some checks and balances somewhere, don't you?
No, it's just incredibly hard. It's just an incredibly...
Uncle Ross, you did throw enough signals to interfere in various ways. If you want to do that, now's the time to specify.
No, it's just that those spells are incredibly difficult and take a long time to weave. There's no paperwork with the Council of Gogs.
But you have so much free time on your hands. I figured you could totally get it done.
But I'm not spending 4 months, 3 days, and 16 fucking minutes weaving a single spell to make my house a little bigger.
Oh. But then you wouldn't even have to go anywhere. The oil slide would be in there. You could just use it at any, when we don't even have council meetings. You could hold, like the quarterfinals.
No, you don't understand what I'm saying. It takes 4 months, 3 days, and 16. What did I say? Minutes.
Minutes,
right? To weave a spell to increase the size of your room. That single spell only does about 100 square foot. So to make it super long, even though it's little on the outside, once you go in, it's much bigger. To do that, you're looking at years of weaving spells, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. This is why that magic is of the highest level. It's not some simple Harry Potter spell where they set up a tiny little tent and then they walk in and it's a fucking house. That doesn't happen.
You're missing the point. It might be years, but you have years, and think of the payoff at the end of all those years of work.
Yes, but why would I do that when we have a dungeon?
Something just came to mind I think might put this table issue to rest. Magog said the table he wants hasn't even been constructed yet. And I wonder where the hell he's going to have it made. More Lascarian Marsh people aren't really known for top-tier craftsmanship. I'm aware of, whereas I, of course, have access to the finest artisans of Sarthos.
And
But that's not going to sway you, I know.
I have literally
Oh.
access to one of the greatest craftsmen to ever live in the entire Western Kingdoms at my disposal right now. I just got to raise him from the dead.
I question his skills have weathered death well.
Where are you going?
But
to find
finally,
the other question that I had, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but where do we even find that much mahogany anyway?
I can provide that.
Oh, okay. Then never mind. The supplies, we've got that solved. All right.
there's another reason not to let him do it. Finally, I'll appeal to where I know you're weak. Cheapskates.
Well,
I'll pay for it.
That might have to be considered. Garrick, I saw, donated, what was it, 5 signals? He said, better late than never. I saw it up on the screen.
Ah.
That is indeed what he put in Streamlabs, but you seem to have covered it. I suppose I could read it again if we're really wanting to.
No,
make sure
I just did it. I just want to make sure we got it
Equality.
before we end it. Listen, this probably isn't going to get resolved tonight. We're going to have to table this discussion. I've been waiting all show for that. I really shut up. I was saving that one. We're going to have to table this discussion.
Mm-hmm.
Yes!
Table this discussion.